Published 12:36 EDT, the 12th of October 2017. Updated 15:55 EDT, the 12th of October 2017. Ivanka Trump and her husband Jared Kushner enjoyed some extra time with their 3 children on Thursday as they headed to their local synagogue to celebrate the Jewish holiday of shemini atzeret. The couple took advantage of the mild fall weather and opted to walk to the Friends of Lubavitch Synagogue in Washington, D.C. while their 2 eldest children, Arabella, 6, and Joseph, 3, happily rode scooters down the sidewalk. Ivanka, 35, and Jared, 36, both wore shades of blue for the holiday, and their 1-year-old son, Theodore, donned a blue suit jacket with gold buttons that perfectly matched his mother's nautical-inspired coat. Scroll down for video. Ivanka, 35, and Jared, 36, were photographed walking their children to the Friends of Lubavitch Synagogue in Washington, D.C. on Thursday while the couple pushed their 1-year-old son Theodore in a stroller. Their eldest children, Arabella, 6, and Joseph, 3, rode scooters. Ivanka looked elegant in a double-breasted navy coat featuring gold buttons and gray suede heels from her eponymous clothing line. The family is celebrating the Jewish holiday of shemini atzeret, which started on Wednesday evening. The mother of 3 looked sharp in a double-breasted navy coat featuring gold buttons, and she opted to pull her long blonde hair back into a sleek bun. Ivanka accessorized her fall outfit with gray suede heels from her eponymous clothing line and a pair of aviator sunglasses to protect her eyes from the morning sunshine. Meanwhile, Jared looked dapper in a gray suit and royal blue tie, and Joseph looked like his mini-me in a navy sweater worn over a collared shirt and gray trousers. Although her entire family wore some shade of blue, Arabella stood out in a pink and gray sweatshirt, a pink tulle skirt, knee-highs, and gray combat boots. The family was photographed leaving the side gate of their home, which is located in the upscale Kalorama neighborhood of Washington, D.C. The family was seen leaving the side gate of their Washington, D.C. home on Thursday around 10:30 a.m. The gate was covered with fake cobwebs in honor of Halloween, which is just a few weeks away. A Secret Service agent in plain clothes walked ahead of them as they made their way to the synagogue. Ivanka converted to Judaism in 2009 to marry Jared, an Orthodox Jew, and they are raising their children to be Orthodox as well. The couple's youngest son sucked his thumb in his stroller while his older brother rode past him on his blue scooter. Arabella and Joseph both scooted past the rest of their family as their parents watched them carefully from behind. At one point, the parents gathered their children around them while Ivanka pointed to a construction crane above them. It seems as though the family has also been celebrating Halloween, as their gate was covered in fake cobwebs in honor of the spooky holiday. Arabella was all smiles as she rode her neon green scooter ahead of her parents, and Joseph followed close behind. The brother and sister duo were both wearing helmets as they made their way to the synagogue with their parents, and they clearly were having a blast scooting ahead of the rest of their family. Although Theodore has scooter just like his older siblings, he seemed perfectly content sucking his thumb in his stroller as his father pushed him along. Ivanka and Jared smiled and chatted during the walk, and at one point they gathered their children together to point out a construction crane in the distance. 2 Secret Service agents in suits and ties accompanied the family during the walk, and they made sure to check out their surroundings before letting Arabella cross the street. Ivanka followed close behind Arabella, reaching her arm towards her eldest child's back as they crossed the street together. Jared followed behind his wife and eldest daughter while pushing Theodore's stroller across the street. Jared stopped and turned around to make sure that Joseph was still following close behind. 2 Secret Service agents in suits and ties accompanied the family during the walk, and they made sure to check out their surroundings before letting Arabella cross the street. When the coast was clear, Ivanka followed close behind Arabella, reaching her arm towards her eldest child's back as they crossed the street together. Jared followed behind while pushing Theodore's stroller, but he stopped to wait for Joseph, who was lagging behind his family. While they were safely on the sidewalk, Arabella turned around to speak to her mom, and Ivanka was photographed bending over to be eye level with her daughter. Ivanka converted to Judaism in 2009 to marry Jared, an Orthodox Jew, and they are raising their 3 children Orthodox as well. Although Ivanka typically wears longer hemlines to adhere to the Jewish religion's strict dress codes, she opted for a thigh-grazing dress and coat on Thursday. Ivanka had a bright smile on her face as Jared turned around to check on their Arabella and Jospe, who were lagging behind while her family all donned shades of blue for the outing. Arabella stood out in a pink and gray sweatshirt, a pink tulle skirt, knee-highs, and gray combat boots. At one point, Arabella turned herself around to look at her mother, who was walking towards her while speaking with Arabella. Ivanka bent over so she could be eye-to-eye with her daughter. When the family left the synagogue, Ivanka was seen pushing Theodore's stroller while her eldest children headed back on their scooters. It appears as though Jared may stayed at the synagogue or possibly headed to work. The day before, the first daughter was photographed leaving her home with Arabella, donning a purple skirt with slits for the morning school run. She paired the purple number with a pair of black stilettos from her own fashion line as well as a black tank top, keeping cool amid the fresh fall temperatures. Ivanka wore her long, blonde hair in a low ponytail, and finished off her outfit with discreet pearl earrings. Arabella, who donned a light blue dress with a white Peter Pan collar, clutched a Frozen doll during the outing and hopped on the black SUV while carrying the toy, modeled after Queen Elsa from the 2013 Disney classic. Ivanka was seen leaving the synagogue around 12:30 p.m. on Thursday as she headed back home with her 3 children. The first daughter pushed Theodore's stroller while her eldest children continued to ride their scooters. Although the family was still accompanied by their Secret Service detail, it appears as though Jared stayed at the synagogue or possibly headed to work. Ivanka's upscale Kalorama neighborhood of Washington, D.C. is filled with ivy-covered homes. Joseph looked just like his father in a navy sweater over a collared shirt and gray trousers. Arabella stayed close to her mom while she pushed Theodore's stroller across the street. Joseph, who is turning 4 this month, followed behind his sister and mother. Although Theodore has a scooter of his home, he didn't appear to feel left out while being pushed in his stroller. Ivanka kept a close eye on her children throughout the walk. While Arabella looked off into the distance, Joseph has his scooter resting on the curb behind them. Joseph also tagged along during the school run but hopped on the car before his mother and sister, and wasn't pictured with the rest of the family. Meanwhile, Jared left earlier and thus didn't tag along on Wednesday morning. The couple's youngest child, Theodore, wasn't seen either, and was probably still at home enjoying a bit more rest. On Tuesday evening, Ivanka was all smiles as she enjoyed dinner next to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau during the Fortune Most Powerful Women Summit and Gala in Washington, D.C. last week. Ivanka and Jared got to soak up some much-needed time with their children, as they enjoyed a quick break from their manic day-to-day lives as White House senior advisors in order to celebrate the Jewish holiday of Sukkot. Taking full advantage both of their day off and of the balmy October day, Ivanka and Jared strolled their way to the nearby Friends of Lubavitch synagogue from their home, while their 3 kids all happily scooted alongside them. Ivanka tried to keep a straight face while her eldest children hid behind a brick wall in the hopes of surprising her. Even little Theodore seemed amused by his siblings' attempt to surprise their mom on their walk home. Ivanka went on a school run on Wednesday morning, boarding a Secret Service vehicle with her daughter Arabella family last week. Ivanka and Jared also walked to Friends of Lubavitch synagogue with their children while celebrating the Jewish holiday of Sukkot. Ivanka looked chic in a lacy black dress, giving a nod to fashion while also observing the religion's strict dress codes by covering her arms and legs in the frock, as well as her head with the addition of a green velvet hat. The mother of 3 incredibly chic in a long-sleeved black lace dress, paying mind to the religion's strict dress codes and covering her arms and her knees in the demure number, while also adding a green velvet hat to the ensemble in order to cover her hair. Jared, meanwhile, stuck with his signature navy suit for the outing, pairing the smart outfit with a red-orange tie and a pair of sunglasses to shield eyes against the bright DC day. The outing was no doubt a welcome opportunity for Ivanka to soak up some time with her children, and comes just after the mother of 3 opened up about her ongoing struggle to balance her White House role with motherhood. Speaking about how she juggles motherhood with such a demanding job, Ivanka admitted that she finds creating and maintaining that balance incredibly difficult, noting that some days I do a really good job while other days I don't. It was much easier when I was my own boss, where I could set my own schedule, but working in the White House doesn't lend itself to that because of the gravity of the issues that you're dealing with, she confessed. When you wake up in the middle of the night worrying about something, the things you're worrying about just have so much more consequence.